Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to make these really lovely face scrubbies. They are really simple to make, so I would say they are beginner level, and all it is UK trebles, doubles, treble, double, and with a nice border to finish off. So it is best to use 100% cotton yarn instead of acrylic because cotton absorbs more water. So for this tutorial I'm going to be using the Drops Love You 8, and I would say it's a 4-weight yarn, and it recommends that I use a 5mm crochet hook, which I've got here. You will also need a pair of scissors, a needle to sew in your ends, and some of you may prefer to use a stitch marker as well, but it's not always necessary. So to get started, you are going to want to do your slip knot, and you do that whichever way is comfortable for you. And then you are going to start off by chaining 4. And then you are going to slip stitch into the first chain, yarn over and pull through both loops. And that is going to leave you with a tiny circle in the middle. You will then want to chain up 3, and this is going to count as your first treble crochet. Now I'm going to be using UK terms, so in the US this is known as double crochet. You are then going to do a further 11 treble crochets into this tiny centre circle. You can also do this starting off by doing the magic circle, but I find this is much easier. But you do it whichever way is comfortable for you. So I have done now 4 treble crochets. So if you want to pause the video, do your 12 treble crochets into this centre circle, and I will meet you at the end of this round. So I've now done my 12 treble crochets, and that's including that first chain 3. Now what you want to do is slip stitch into the 3rd chain of that chain 3. Yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And you can always just pull on the back there just to tighten it up a little bit. So for round 2 you are going to chain 1, and this chain 1 is not going to count as a stitch. You then want to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and this is known as single crochet in the US. And then if you wanted to, this is where you would put in your stitch marker into that first stitch there. So I don't need one of these, but you're more than welcome to use one if you need it. I am then going to place another double crochet in the UK into that first stitch. And then each stitch around you are going to place 2 double crochets. So by the time you get to the end, you should have 24 stitches. So if you want to pause the video, do 2 double crochets in each of those stitches and I will meet you near the end. So I've just gone all the way around doing my 2 double crochets in each of those stitches, and I've now got 24 stitches in total all the way around. So your piece of work should start looking a bit like this. You are now going to ignore that chain 1 there and slip stitch into the first stitch there, yarn over and pull through both loops. So onto round 3, and you are going to want to chain 3, and this is going to count as your first treble crochet. And into the next stitch you are going to want to place 2 treble crochets into that same stitch. And into the next one you are going to place 1 treble crochet. And into the next one you are going to place 2 treble crochets into that same stitch. So as you go around, it's going to be 2 treble crochets, 1, 2 treble crochets, 1, 2 treble crochets and 1. And you want to do that all the way around, and your last one into your last stitch should be 2 treble crochets. So if you want to do that, pause the video and I will meet you at the end of this round. So I'm just coming to the end of my round 3. I have 1 stitch left to go into, and your last stitch should be the 2 treble crochets. And once you have done that, you are going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, yarn over, pull through both loops. And that's what it should be looking like at the end of your round 3. Now for round 4, you are just going to chain 1, and that is not going to count as any stitch. And then in the next stitch here, sometimes it's quite awkward to get into because it's not like the others, you want to place 1 more double crochet. In the US that is single crochet. And then in the stitch after that, you want to place 2 double crochets. And in the next stitch you want to place 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch 1 double crochet, and in the stitch after that you want to place 2 double crochets all into that same stitch. So you should be able to see a pattern by now. So it's going 1 1 2 1 1 2, so 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets into that same stitch. So if you want to pause the video, go round your circle doing 1 1 2 1 1 2, and I will meet you at the end of round 4. So I'm just coming to the end of my round 4, and in your last stitch should be the one that you place 2 double crochets into. Now this stitch can be quite tight, so you might have to wriggle it a bit. Oh, it slipped off there. Sorry about that. And once you have done that, you want to slip stitch into the first stitch that you did, not the chain 1. So that's what it should be looking like at the end of round 4. And you can obviously finish here if you want to. It is a decent size, but if you wanted to carry on and do this little border around the edge, I will show you how to do that. It would be nice maybe if it was a different colour, so you can change colours if you want to. I'm not going to change colours for this, I'm just saying you can if you want to. So to get this started, you want to chain up 3, and that is counting as your first treble crochet. And then into the next stitch, which would be this one here, you just want to place 1 double crochet. And in the next stitch is a treble crochet. And in the next stitch is just a double crochet. And in the next one a treble crochet. And in the next one a double crochet. So if you want to pause the video, go all the way around your circle doing 1 treble, 1 double, 1 treble, 1 double. And it just gives you this nice effect around the edge. So if you want to do that, pause the video and I will meet you at the end. So I'm just coming to the end of my last round. And in the last stitch, it should be a double crochet, which is correct because your chain 3 counted as your first treble. Now what you want to do, you want to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, yarn over, pull through both of those loops, and then you want to finish off, and to do that you just yarn over, pull through, snip about 6 to 8 inches of yarn off, and just pull your hook all the way through and tighten it up. And that is your face scrubbie. So it's really, really simple. And then all you would want to do is sew in your ends. So just this middle one and then this one here. So that is what your face scrubbie should be looking like. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.